to teach art is to teach someone how to be confident. It's how to embrace mess and imperfection, to learn that we don't always have to get it right, or that we don't always need to have our art turn out how we want it on the first try. And there's always going to be another chance to try again. So something I always try to encourage my students is that with art, you can never really get it wrong and you can't get it done. So there's always more paper, there's always more materials, there's always opportunities to try again until you get it how you like it, but also to embrace the imperfections of your art. The fact is that it takes a lot of confidence in a person to create something out of nothing. And I've noticed that when I started sketching again for the first time, I think about 5 or 6 years ago, I wasn't very confident about the way I was making my lines. I would make a lot of short little lines. And I was listening to someone talk about making gesture drawings, and I was studying gesture drawings at the time. And the thing that I really had to learn was to be confident in the marks that I was going to make. And you can see that in people's art. You can see when someone goes into a piece very confident. And sometimes that confidence just comes from practicing the skill over and over again. You don't grow confidence in art by just doing it the first time. It comes with repetition. And something that I've really noticed since getting more and more into art education, as in how do we teach people about art and what are like the nuances, it's really interesting being in and part of a team of art educators, because you can see, one, there are 10 million opinions on how to teach art. There's a lot of different ways and philosophies on what and how we're going to teach students. And mind you that we're teaching elementary students, or that's my little tiny pocket of this, is I'm teaching and helping support elementary students. So we're talking first, third, and fifth grade, and sixth. My goal when I'm working with students is really to teach them confidence. It is to teach them to trust themselves. And I say that a lot when I'm the one that gets to lead. I'm usually telling them, like, hey, the biggest thing I want you to take away is that you can trust yourself to create this image. Yes, I will walk you through it. If you need help, yes, we can do it together. But trust that you're going to be able to envision what you want to create, the lines that you want to create, and you're going to confidently be able to put those things down. So, really, what I'm teaching is confidence. What I'm teaching is because, students, it's so interesting being in education, because for so much of their life, they have a teacher, a classroom teacher, and this is how the system is set up. I'm not saying it's anyone's fault, but the system's set up so that teachers have to present certain information and they have to teach certain information to certain age groups. So let's say we're in kindergarten, we're teaching how to form letters. We're telling the students this is what a letter A looks like. And when they get that wrong, they have to do it again. Or we tell them, like, oh, you have to fix this, you have to improve on this. And depending on the teacher they have, it can really make or break their confidence. Like, are we telling them, ooh, that's wrong, and they feel shame for that? Or are we just telling them, hey, let's do this again and again and again until we get it to look more like this example? So then we come in, or I come in as someone with the arts, and I'm like, hey, I don't need you to make this thing look exactly like mine. And so it's just like in their brains, they put so much pressure on themselves. Like, there is so much pressure for them to look at the images and the lines that I'm drawing and feel like they need to make it like mine. And I always tell them it takes practice. All I want you to do is to confidently put some of those marks down, let your pencil guide you, loosen up a little bit, and have fun. Like, have fun. Like, this is art. And something that I've really been reflecting on is you can be an artist and teach art, and you can be an art teacher and not be an artist. Like, you can be in art education and not really have that same passion and drive to create your own art, but you are a teacher of art. So if you've ever had an experience in formal education where you were creating something for an art teacher and they gave you unfair criticism or feedback, I just want you to know to not take that too seriously. Because if you really think about it, like when I'm teaching kids about these different art movements and impressionism and all of these things, part of me is thinking like, yeah, it is important to like learn about the past and learn about the history of art, but also like all these artists, what they did to create these big movements was break the rules of art. So they weren't just mimicking and copying everything that their art teachers were teaching them. They were doing something completely different and completely new, and that's what people really liked about it. So anyways, I just want you to know that if you feel like you are not a good creator or you feel like you can't draw, I want you to know one, it's a skill. Creating art is a skill that anybody can learn. It's a skill that takes dedication and curiosity and an openness to be able to make mistakes and fail. But it's a skill that we can learn how to do. Two, if you've ever felt like you couldn't create because of unfair criticism or feedback or just like unhelpful critiques, like getting getting a critique from an art teacher without any sort of direction on how to fix your mistake or how to improve on your art, heal that aspect and create again, because I feel like that keeps a lot of people from creating, as this fear of making mistakes. But honestly, that is all art is. It's making and being willing to make mistake after mistake after mistake and make bad pieces of art in order to really dig down to the depths of your soul to create something that is meaningful and important to you and expresses the authentic nature of yourself. So fail forward, create, get out a sketchbook, make some lines, just get started on something. It can be so healing and empowering to create something out of just a blank piece of paper, a blank canvas, a blank surface, a fresh start. I hope that this video was inspiring and helpful, and it's just the reflections of the nuance of art and art education and how it plays a role in our society. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys come back. My name is Jessica Darling. I will see you guys in the next video, and bye for now.